Hey gamers, Daltonic here with a complete video walkthrough of the main quest Easter egg for Liberty Falls in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Let's get to it. Once you load into a game on Liberty Falls, spend the first few rounds simply surviving and gathering essence. Try to avoid grabbing any nukes to maximize points earned, unless you are right at the end of a round when the nuke drops, then kill your last few zombies and take the 402 points. Also, avoid grabbing any key items at this point, especially if you are playing at launch. There are some bugs in this game, so
you talking shit?
What? No! Get the fuck out of here! Not what I meant. Not what I meant. But there are some small glitches here and there that can cause breaks in the main quest. So be sure to start the quest before picking up and interacting with any key items. If you're watching this a while after the game has released, I want to say hopefully these issues have been fixed by now, but you never really know with Activision these days. After round 5 or after the first vermin round, consider moving forward and head straight for the church. Open access to the dark dimension and interact with the machine on your right. The screen will flash white, indicating the main quest has begun. You will now need to get your hands on the Thrustodyne Model 23, or the jet gun. The first part you should grab is the water valve, located in front of the flower shop near Speed Cola. Head to the shop and grab the valve from a hose with a spigot right beneath one of the purple sections of the wall between the windows of the shop. Now, take this valve to the bowling alley across town. At the bowling alley, look for the electrical panel on the wall near the attendant's desk. Melee the panel to expose the pipe underneath and attach the valve. A small group of zombies will spawn in, drop them along with any remaining zombies to get to the next round. At the end of this next round, you will be able to hold the final zombie while one teammate easily turns the valve. If you're playing solo, you will have to balance holding the zombie by yourself without taking too much damage while still making progress. Stamina up can be incredibly helpful for quickly getting back to the valve after leading the zombie away, but be careful not to go too far. If you do not interact with the valve for long enough, you will actually lose progress on the water pressure and have to repeat effort. Once you have turned the valve enough, the pressure gauge will pop off the wall and any nearby enemies will be automatically killed. Grab the pressure gauge and head to the graveyard.
Better keep it close in case we need it.
If new enemies are not spawning in, begin a new round and hang out in the graveyard killing enemies until the groundskeeper zombie spawns. You don't have to stay perfectly inside the graveyard to cause him to spawn, so if you need to head to the church or run into the street to survive, you absolutely can. Once you head back to the graveyard, look for a wandering zombie with a flannel shirt and sun hat. You will also notice his name is unique in his health bar, explicitly stating Groundskeeper. If you happen upon this step on a vermin round, you'll find the Groundskeeper really easy, since he will be the only zombie wandering around in the graveyard.
That must have been Dennis Riffle.
Kill the Groundskeeper and take the key he drops. Now, jump down from the zipline point in the graveyard and take a sharp left to find the shed.
Seems his luck didn't stick around in the end, though.
Use the key you just grabbed to enter the shed and pick up the handbrake, our second jet gun part.
Let's see what you've been keeping locked up in here. A handbrake.
For our final part, we will need to get inside of the electronics store across the street from Ollie's Comics. Hang out in the area until a mangler spawns in. Then, stand in front of the security gate that is preventing access to the electronics store and hold your ground until the mangler fires his cannon at you. Inside the electronics store, there will be several piles of trash and debris on the ground that look similar to dig spots from Origins or Terminus. Interact with the trash piles to reveal either salvage, a random enemy, or our final jet gun part, the electrical cables. Grab the cables and with all 3 parts in hand, head to the motel at the infiltration point. Head up the stairs and be ready for a small horde to burst out of room 204 as you approach. Take the zombies out, then run inside and use the workbench to build the Thrustodyne.
Need to shut down that pickup offer for now, team. Is that a design for a weapon?
Now that you have the jet gun, head to the comic shop and look into the broken section of the ceiling to find the first LTG part. Use your primary fire, or right trigger, to suck the part into your character to collect it. Exit the comic store and head up to the shops near Speed Cola. Use the roofs to get on top of the moving truck in the middle of the road, and again use the jet gun to collect the LTG piece, located in the second floor of the barbershop. Look through the window just above Speed Cola to find the part. The final LTG piece is located in the church, floating in the air near Panos.
You have all three.
Take all 3 parts to the workbench at the Alamo and build the LTG device.
What's the 411 panels? How does that thing work?
We will need one last part before we begin the extraction process, an Aether canister. Head back to the church and collect a canister from the machine you used to start the quest, the Simultaneous Dimensional Gateway Generator, or SDG generator. Once you have the canister, you will not be able to sprint or tack sprint, so be sure the horde is at a manageable level before trying to transport the container. If you get into a tight spot, you can always drop the canister at any time. Take the canister to the Aether Field Generator trap located in the High Street by Speed Cola and place the container near one of the field generators. Then head to the Aether Storm in the graveyard and place the LTG. A portal will begin to open. During this time, you will need to hold your ground and defend the portal for a minute until the device becomes stable. If you fail to defend the device, you will have to wait until the next round to try again, so consider grabbing some decoys if you're playing solo. Once the portal stabilizes, a high-value target will spawn. In my playthroughs, I have seen the Abomination HVT spawn first every time, regardless which Aether portal you activate first, so be ready. Fight the HVT, lowering its health without killing it, until the creature begins to glow purple. Panos should also reach out over the comms once the creature becomes weak enough to trap. Once ready, lead the HVT near the generator where you dropped the Aether canister, activate the Aether Field Generator, and run in a small circle around the HVT to keep him in the trap radius. After a few brief moments, the trap will kill the HVT, transferring his essence into the Aether canister. Grab the container and quickly transport it to the SDG generator at the church before the Aether becomes unstable. If you fail at any point during the HVT fight or transferring the Aether, you will have to restart the HVT fight on the next round. But players will not have to worry about the stabilization section. The moment you interact with the device, the HVT will spawn. Return to the Dark Aether Church and install the canister. Before we can repeat the HVT extraction process, we will need to calibrate some electrical field projectors using the Strauss counter, which will pop out of a drawer on the SDG generator under the monitor on the left side of the machine. Grab the counter, which will replace your tactical, and head outside and back to the groundskeeper's house. Behind his house, you will find the first projector. Use the Strauss counter to identify the level of nearby electrical fields and calibrate the projector appropriately. For proper calibration, players will need to set the projector to the inverse of the reading on the Strauss counter, meaning a green or low reading from the Strauss counter should be matched with a red or high activity status on the projector. Simply put, if the Strauss counter is green, turn the projector to red. If the counter is red, turn the projector to green. And if the reading on the counter is yellow, set the projector to yellow as well. The local electrical field will change every game, but the projector locations will not, so quickly use the counter to check the areas and set the projectors. Keep in mind that you cannot interact with the projectors while looking at the counter, so let go of the tactical input before trying to interact with the projector. After setting the projector behind the groundskeeper's house, head to the Alamo and unlock the rooftop drop-down shortcut located next to where the Wonder Fizz machine spawns and find your second projector on the lower roof area. Then, head to the grand staircase near Liberty Lanes and find the final projector in the grass.
Okay, that canister by the gas station should be accessible now.
Goody. Let's get to work filling it.
Once all 3 projectors are set, the final Aether canister will become available for collection at the infiltration point. Set this canister down near one of the generators on the nearby trap, then set the LTG under the Aether Storm near the comic shop to spawn the next HVT. If you can't place the LTG, you probably left it in the graveyard like I did on this run. Just run back and pick it up. Repeat the portal stabilization and HVT extraction process, this time with a Mangler HVT. Remember to weaken him until he begins emitting a purple glow, then activate the Aether Trap and lure the HVT into the trap near the Aether canister.
Alpha, report. Did we get what we need to shut down this outbreak?
Oh yes, Blanchard. Once they get back here, we can finish the problem.
Quickly return to the church and install the Aether canister in the SDG generator before the Aether becomes unstable. At this point, we are at the home stretch for the main quest. Hopefully you are somewhere below round 30 at this point. Being below round 20 is even better. Before activating the SDG generator, ensure to gear up as much as possible. Getting the essence to pack a punch at least twice, upgrading rarity to at least purple, and acquiring a small handful of perks. The final encounter is a very close quarters and messy battle, so prepare for chaos. If you still have the jet gun in hand, it is super useful for this fight since the alternate fire explosion on the weapon will damage every enemy in the encounter, which can give you a window to rain fire on the HVTs that will spawn during the fight. Consider grabbing support items from a crafting bench, such as the mutant injector, if you have the salvage. If playing co-op, don't forget to grab a self-revive if you haven't been able to scavenge one from an enemy. When ready, gather inside the church and interact with the simultaneous dimension gateway generator. There is a short delay before the final encounter begins, so watch yourself. You don't want to waste an armor plate or two at this point. Once the fight begins, you will need to survive 3 waves of zombies inside the now sealed church. Remember that you have an ammo crate just beside the SDG in case you need to resupply mid-fight, and you can still use the Pack-a-Punch machine if necessary. Playing solo and starting this fight at round 20, I earned enough points during the battle to Pack-a-Punch to level 3, after just completely depleting all of my essence to reach Pack level 2 at the start of the battle. So keep an eye on your points and boost your damage mid-fight if you get the chance. Enemies will also drop ammo during this section, so keep an eye out for resupply pickups on the ground. After the first wave, players will receive a max armor power-up that will spawn in air over the stairs. During the second round, players will also have to dispatch a Mangler HVT, awarding a max ammo at the end of this wave. The final wave forces players to dispose of an Abomination HVT. Once the HVT is defeated, the final cutscene will begin and the main quest will complete.
There's good days and bad days. Jury's still out on this one.
Alpha team, how copy? Somebody tell me what just happened. Any station this net, what is your status? And if you've hurt them, I swear I'll...
No interruptions for this next part.
Thank you, my friends, for volunteering to take my place here. Or, in your parlance, thank you for... Now, if you will excuse me, I have a few scores to settle. Dark Ether...
Players will have the added bonus of being able to stay in the game with a surprise or extract immediately upon completing the main Easter egg. This has been Daltonic. Thanks for watching.